Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Law Firm Fixers. I'm joined by founder Raj Jha and managing director Yellin. Collectively, we have several decades of experience with respect to law firm marketing, and today we're going to continue on the theme of love it or leave it. Our first topic today is television advertising. Should law firms adopt television advertising as part of their marketing mix? Ready?
Ooh. Oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Hold on.
Get ready, Ross. Ross stalling again. But it's like
now I'm ready. Now I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Well, there you go. I'm always in the minority. Okay, so who has a view on why they should be doing them? Go ahead. You two R's can fight it out for supremacy.
I'm gonna let Ross take this away, and then we'll see if we look at it the same way.
Okay. All right. Sure. I can handle that. Well, first of all, that was Genie's first introduction, and come on, Raj, we can give her.
Thank you, Genie, for introducing us in this episode.
Yes, though I will say, I think Raj alone, I mean, look at that gray hair. He's got a few decades by himself. So I think we've got...
you know what, Ross? It always feels like decades when I'm talking to you. All I can say.
There it is. You know, Raj, I'm catching up on the gray, though. I'm catching up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So anyways, I think TV ads are an excellent tool to be considered. I mean, as with most things in the law, it always depends, right? That's our favorite answer. But I think they're an excellent tool to be considered depending on your type of practice. So, you know, there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan, Binder & Binder, Sokoloff, you name it, you know, that firm, that go-to firm that you think of when you think, you know, some people think ambulance chaser, people think, you know, well-known personal injury law firm. There's a reason why they spend the money on it, and because it's name recognition. In the personal injury space, you often, or I should say hopefully, unless you have someone with really bad luck, don't have repeat clients. You have people who are, you know, hit with injury, maybe literally hit or, you know, figuratively, and they needed a solution. They need someone to help immediately. And so if you already have that name recognition embedded into their brain, you have to call fill in the blank. You have a huge leg up over the competition, even if they then go into Google and, you know, they might search directly for your firm name as opposed to personal injury attorney and get all of your competitors that come up on the list, as well as all of the ads that come up in that list. So name recognition first and foremost, because you never know when that need is going to arise.
So I agree with all of that. I'm going to take a slightly different approach to why I said yes, because I think let's just take the concept of television advertising, which can be really scary. So if you're not one of those big brands, you're not used to cutting 6-figure checks to do a traditional ad. I think there's a little reframe here because a lot of attorneys are not really, you know, media savvy. Just call it what it is, right? And what the options are. I like TV advertising on the internet. So essentially, what I think everybody should do, because any law firm can afford this, and it's not just for personal injury. It is anyone who's advertising either to a strict subject matter or to a geographic area. Call it TV on the internet, and you can run YouTube ads, which are exactly the same as what you would be doing on TV. And that, what I call TV on the internet, is vastly underused. You could be the dominant media player within a 10-minute radius of your office, or 10 miles or 50 miles or whatever you want, for just a fraction of what it costs to run traditional TV. There's other kinds of things. I mean, you can also serve ads on, Roku boxes and all kinds of set-top boxes. It's the same thing. It is really just a visual medium and a branding exercise. So I like it for that reason. And I even like it for firms that have clients which are B2B. So if you've got business clients and you're running on YouTube on related business content, that's a fantastic way. And no, your ad is not going to look like the personal injury attorney ad. It's going to look more like a thought leadership ad. However, it is a great way to get exposure. So that's my 2 cents on TV, even though I sort of didn't answer the question.
And hence why I said no, because I think that television ads in the classic sense, television audiences are diminishing, and it's really hard to get your hyper-local, very focused ad. But once you start actually just talking about the construct of creating a visual ad and putting it in YouTube or other places, categorically completely on side. So I think I'm more in Raj's camp than Ross's, but hey, then again, so am I in terms of age. So it's all relevant.
Well, but let's think about this though. We're all saying the same thing, that brand matters, right? And we're all saying the same thing, that repeated exposure to that brand matters. So really the one question is, what is the platform that's going to let you get in front of your audience in a way that they remember you and what you can do for them? And TV used to be, and all mass market media, TV, newspaper, all the traditional things, direct mail, used to be the ways to do it. Now we have ways of doing the same thing with lower production cost, lower delivery cost. It just takes a little bit of doing to do it, but you can actually beat the folks who are doing TV ads using YouTube at a fraction of the budget if you just make a strategy around it. So just think about it that way.
And one last point on this is 70% of Americans are visual learners. So, you can have a much higher impact and it will be retained at a much higher level using this medium.
Yeah.
I'm going to make Genie a liar because she said one final point, but I'm going to add another one. The final point here, we'll see if that rings true. The final point here before we move on to our next topic. So get your buzzers ready because the next topic is direct mail. Is that one thing that is absolutely categorically true, whether you are, a consumer client-facing firm or a B2B firm, corporate law, what have you, is that in our industry, people buy people, and video is an excellent way to introduce yourself to your potential clients. So whether it's on TV, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's just living on your website, video is a fantastic tool to have a warm introduction to potential clients. Okay, with that, our next subject. So let's see.
Topic
here.
2, here we go,
Topic
direct mail.
Drum roll, direct mail.
Direct mail used to be the best way to do advertising, and what do we think now? 1, 2, 3, reveal.
All right.
Okay.
Wow, look at
thumbs up across the board.
Yeah, is that a first where we all agree?
It might be a clean sweep on that. Yeah.
There you go. And why do you think so, Ross?
I think so. Particularly, I'm thinking of an instance where we've helped a client recently launch a new partnership of their firm. So it was 2 firms coming together in a new community and sharing, new name and everything. But what a phenomenal way to get the word out to your immediate community in which you hope to serve. It's something that they, make it visually stunning. It can be as simple as a postcard. It doesn't have to be a huge expense, but guess what? It is such a low barrier to entry in terms of cost. It's getting in folks' inboxes. And again, as we talked about with the video, it's all about brand recognition and serving that brand over and over again. So they continue to see it. They know who you are. And in this case, they know that you're, as long as your messaging is on point, they know that you are in their community. They can come and knock on your, I want to say come and knock on your door, but we don't really do that these days. But, they know that, you are living nearby. They can actually meet you in person. Even as everything transitions to Zoom and whatnot, having that availability and proximity is still a critical factor in deciding who you're going to retain as your attorney. So for that reason, you can be hyper local.
Hyper loco. I think I like that even better.
You're hyper loco. Hyper loco advertising. I like that.
Yeah, I mean that's a new offering for us.
It's totally crazy.
But it's a low cost, and it's
a low cost
here in your community. So those are my thoughts.
So I'm gonna chip in here. So I'm completely biased, and here's why. Practice Alchemy started with a direct mail campaign. I love direct mail. So I'll tell you the fun that I had with it. This applies, it doesn't matter if you represent consumers or businesses, because Practice Alchemy, we work with law firms. They're businesses, right? But I use direct mail to get to them. So our very first direct mail campaign was not what you would think of as some kind of like junk mail. Essentially, I sent ski masks to law firms, and the entire thing was, is someone stealing your referrals? And had like a ski mask that a bank robber would happen, and then a little copy and a little picture of a bank robber and someone stealing the referrals. And from that direct mail campaign, all of our initial clients came on board. So you can't say that it doesn't work or it's just, junk in the mailbox. Now, especially, the mailbox is empty. There's not that much in there, right? So you really can stand out with it, and you can reach anybody. So you can reach business owners, you can reach people within a certain radius, and it's very inexpensive. On the consumer front, you've got EDDM, everyday direct mail. On the business front, you know exactly who you're sending it to, and you can send it in a FedEx envelope or something that'll look like it'll get past the gatekeeper, right? Say personal and confidential on a FedEx envelope. There's so many ways of doing it to open up conversations.
So taking that one step further, because I think we're all 100% on the same page, like what are the 3 things that people have to do in order for direct mail to be successful? Because I think if it's just a flyer, it's going to hit, everybody's favorite rotary bin. That doesn't work. So what has to happen? What are the couple of little insights that we can provide that will actually make this different, will make it stand out in a time right now?
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Jeannie, because direct mail has hard costs associated with it, right? So people think email, oh, that's free. But here you got postage, you got the printing, you got all that. At the highest level, to do this right, you need the right list, right? You need to be sending it to people who are relevant, who care. And you need good copy on the other thing that sucks the reader in or gets them involved. And then you need a call to action. You can't just be like, here I am. And then, no, there needs to be a logical next step that they need to take. Very often, maybe giving them something of value for free if they'll just go and register on your website or something. You're sending them somewhere else. So I think that super highest level. Those are the 3. Obviously, there's a lot of detail below that, but those are mine. I don't know, Ross or Jeannie, if you have different ones.
I would definitely add one more critical element, which is the visual aspect of it. Don't skimp or skip over the design phase. You need something that, in a land of white envelopes is going to jump out of that person's hands, literally as they hold it, and say, oh, what is this? You need to catch their attention. And that can be through color theory. So as Jeannie said, people are really visual. So it can, using a bright red, a bright blue will catch their attention. Muted tones, probably not. And then on top of that, if you are offering something very specific, then, a visual representation of your offering can certainly help. But you want to make sure that, it's not just kind of flip, 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 and you get lost in the mix. It needs to be really visually engaging.
Okay. All excellent points. Anything else you want to add on this topic, or do you want to?
Well, if someone wants to geek out on this and they're thinking, oh, direct mail doesn't work, I would like everybody to consider you've probably got a charity solicitation by direct mail. Okay, whether it's St. Jude, whether it's the ASPCA, whether there's so many of them. They come to you, especially lawyers. They love lawyers because it's a more affluent demographic, and so you've probably gotten those. Open them up and see what they're doing. Do a little homework. And you'll see, what do they have in there? Ooh, they gave you stickers and return envelope address stickers for you. They've got all these, what they call involvement devices, where you peel off a sticker and put it here for an extra donation of something else. Look at what they're doing. I mean, I know I'm a total geek on this point, but here's an organization that you may or may not have heard of. They're mailing you, and they're trying to do the hardest thing ever, which is get you to write a check and mail it to them, and you don't know who they are. If that can be done at scale with direct mail, you can't tell me that your firm can't do direct mail. It's just, you may not have figured it out yet, but it 100% works.
Couldn't agree more. And I think I'm going to break from tradition here. We've been doing these in 3s, but we're going to keep this one to 2. I think we've gotten some really good detail here. And we're going to tease with our next subject, which I need to find the new emoji or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, new symbol.
Yeah, I need a new, there we go. I need a new symbol for my answer on this one. Stay tuned for what that answer is. But next week we will be, among other topics, discussing website redesign and whether that is a key to success for your firm. So judging by Genie's grin and Raj's knowing nod, I can guarantee you this one's gonna get spicy, we'll call it.
Yeah, we might only get through one thing next week.
It may be a single subject episode. So with that, thanks everyone for tuning in. Please feel free to reach out to us. We are, as always, here to help and answer any questions you might have. So stay tuned for next week where we discuss and debate website redesign. See you next week.
Yeah.
Cheers.